What's in this big, thick binder? Is it a detailed plan on how the feds are going to balance the budget? Of course not. 445 pages, folks, detailing how the feds spent your money on branded merchandise for itself. Let's take a read through it here. Oh, the Business Development Bank of Canada, a Crown corporation, spent more than $17,000 on branded golf balls. Invest in Canada, more than $12,000 on candles. Then Destination Canada said, hold my candles, and spent $13,000 on them. Now, folks, they're literally taking your money, spending them on branded candles, and then lighting them on fire. Now, if there isn't a metaphor in there on how the government is spending your money, literally lighting on fire, then I don't know what a metaphor would be. Okay, Farm Credit Canada, more than $10,000 on air fresheners. That really stinks, doesn't it? Economic Development Canada, 4,100 smackers on climate change trivia card games. I wonder if that's boosting the economy. Now, here's a question from the card game, false or false, Trudeau's carbon tax helps the environment. Okay, let me rattle off a couple more here. The Department of Justice dropped $3,300 on stress balls. That stresses me out. The Windsor-Detroit Bridge spends more than $900 on branded candy. The Jacques Cartier Bridge spent $9,700 on custom polo shirts. You got the Business Development Bank of Canada, they're at it again, with $3,700 on branded mints, more like entitled mints, am I right? While the Canada Development Investment Corporation spent $18,000 on knitted wool socks. Destination Canada, $9,000 on charcuterie boards. One department spent $1,400 on Rubik's Cubes. You heard that right, Rubik's Cubes. Another spent $1,700 on fancy pocket knives, while yet another spent more than $800 on pizza cutters. And folks, this one's the craziest of all, I think. CSIS, that's Canada's spy agency, they also confirmed that they spend money on promotional material, but they wouldn't say what that promotional material was because, you know, spy stuff. And look, I'm not an expert when it comes to espionage, but I'm pretty sure we shouldn't be sending our spies out into the field with branded CSIS merch. Okay, here's the thing. The government either won't say or can't say just how much money in total is spent on all this branded merchandise, but we do know that all of these expenses happened since the beginning of January 2021. Now, what else has been going on outside of this Ottawa bubble since then? Well, we had the pandemic, when many Canadians lost their business, lost their job. Well, since then, we've also had a housing affordability crisis, also just everything seeming to go up in prices. So maybe the government could, I don't know, ease up on the fancy pizza cutters and charcuterie boards when Canadians are having a tough time filling up their grocery cart. And you know, after going through this 445-page document, I am honestly thinking that the federal government held a contest to see which department could come up with the dumbest way to spend your money, and they all won. But here's another question, folks. Like, why is the federal government even spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on promotional material? Does the federal government really think that you don't know that it exists? Of course you know it exists. Your wallet is getting lighter and lighter by the year. But if you're tired of all this and you want to send a message at a cost to taxpayers of $0, then you can head over to taxpayer.com and pick up your own sweet branded merchandise like this dad hat. I love it. And some of our awesome t-shirts. Here's my favorite one. Support your local money printer. Pick up some of the merch at taxpayer.com and send these entitled bureaucrats and politicians a message.